All right, what's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and things are getting crazy here. Let me show you. Russia says they will bomb any country that arrests Putin. This comes after the International Criminal Court judges issue arrest warrants after Russian President Vladimir Putin and Maria Lvova-Belova, one of his basically minions here, right? And multiple countries are going to be enforcing this, including, I'll show you the US talking about this, and Europe's largest economy, Germany, issuing an arrest warrant for Putin, saying, quote, Putin will be arrested if he travels to Germany or if they can get their hands on him. What a stark contrast, because remember that Hitler came from Germany. Now they want to put Putin to justice. Yeah. Yeah, the German justice minister says that an arrest warrant against Putin to be executed if he comes to Germany. Yeah. And the US is actually talking about this. Here's Republican Senator Lindsey Graham talking about this. Take a listen here.
There's an arrest warrant for Putin by the ICC for kidnapping children in Ukraine and taking to Russia. Is that right? Pretty much it, right?
Yep.
If Putin came to the United States for whatever reason, would we turn him over to the ICC?
Well, I can't get ahead of that because obviously I have to look at the laws, and most, as you know, we're not actually a party to the ICC, so I don't want to engage in that hypothetical. But
I would encourage you that if he came here, we should turn him over.
Now, I don't think he has any plans to travel here soon.
Yeah. Well, would you encourage our European allies to turn him over?
I think that anyone who is a party to the court and has obligations should fulfill their obligations.
Yeah, so you can let me know your thoughts on this, but the whole world is talking about an arrest warrant for Putin. Yeah. And Russia saying that this could start World War III. As you can see right here, Russia warns that simply the arrest warrant could spark World War III. And Russia's former president, Dmitry Medvedev, has warned that any attempt by Germany, or any other country for that matter, to arrest Vladimir Putin on the ICC International Criminal Court's warrant could spark World War III. The court, which is based in The Hague in the Netherlands, concluded on March 16th that Putin had committed war crimes in his full-scale invasion of the Ukraine, citing the unlawful deportation of Ukrainian children. It is the first time an arrest warrant has been issued against the leader of one of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. Medvedev, who serves as the deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council and was the prime minister for 8 years, said that the German authorities attempted to arrest the Russian president on the ICC's warrant. It would be a declaration of war. And also, don't forget that Germany is a member of NATO. US, the United States, is a member of NATO. Any country that attacks Germany would be a declaration of war against the United States and all 30 members of NATO as well. So this is just kind of how close all this stuff relates to the United States, to Germany, to NATO, to all 30 countries here. This kind of puts all this stuff into perspective here for everybody here. Yeah. And that even if the United States had never helped Ukraine and never gave them a dollar or funded any money for them to help defend themselves, this probably still would have happened because Putin would have still taken these children, and then the International Criminal Court would have issued this, and this part of this would have probably still played out, this arrest warrant for this, if you just kind of think through that scenario there. Yeah. Yeah, so get this. Underneath the International Criminal Court's warrant, it's 123 member states, including Germany, would be obligated to arrest Putin and hand him over to the court. So this now means there's 123 countries or member states that Putin cannot travel to now. Yeah. And they said, quote, I expect the ICC to quickly contact Interpol as well, and as participating states, and ask them to comply with the demand. Wow. Now, Russia's former president here and still a high leader here, Medvedev, previously suggested that Russia could strike the ICC, International Criminal Court, with a hypersonic missile in response to its decision to issue an arrest warrant for Putin. Quote, attempts to try Putin in the ICC would have monstrous consequences for international law, Medvedev said on his Telegram channel on Monday. Quote, the ICC judges got excited in vain. Look, they say, we are brave, and we raised a hand against the largest nuclear power without blank ourselves, he wrote. Alas, gentlemen, everyone walks under God and rockets. It is quite possible to imagine the targeted use of hypersonic onyx from the North Sea from a Russian ship at the Hague courthouse, he went on, referring to a naval cruise missile. Quote, and the court is just a miserable international organization, not a population of a NATO country. That's why they won't start a war. They will be afraid, and no one will feel sorry for them. So judges of the court, look carefully into the sky, Medvedev added. So, I mean, this just gives you an idea how Russia thinks and how Russia talks. They're above the law in every way, shape, and form and regards. They just literally don't care about anything. And someone wants to challenge them, they will literally just send a rocket and blow them out of the water. They don't care. They're just going to invade country after country after country, take their children. If another country challenges them, oh, well, we'll just blow them up. Just imagine the anarchy that the world has kind of come to here. And the only thing that literally that they have is 6,000 nukes that they can literally say, well, we have 6,000 nuclear weapons. What are you going to do? And then we have Russia's cousin, North Korea. Take a look at this.
North Korea today test firing cruise missiles off its east coast in response to what Kim Jong-un sees as growing aggression, his words, from South Korea and its allies. That's coming just days after North Korea simulated a nuclear attack on South Korea Monday, which brings us to tonight's original. In-depth reporting on a topic we've been watching. These latest missile launches by North Korea are in response to the biggest war games in the region between the U.S. and South Korea in 5 years. Our own Josh Letterman is there in the middle of the action, behind the scenes for these live fire exercises with artillery Black Hawk choppers and more. Here's Josh.
Not far from the North Korean border, U.S. and South Korean troops are practicing for a war they hope they'll never fight. Over 11 days, the two militaries training as one, firing live artillery, flying attack helicopters, and practicing amphibious operations. War games the U.S. says are defensive and no threat to North Korea unless it attacks first.
The U.S. and South Korea haven't conducted war games on this scale in 6 years. But after recent North Korean provocations, including just today, military officials say they are more important than ever.
Do you feel ready if a conflict were to break out here tonight?
100%, absolutely.
In the middle of today's exercises, North Korea launching multiple cruise missiles into the Sea of Japan, a searing reminder of what's at stake. Last year, North Korea test-fired more than 70 missiles, the most ever. Recent imagery from North Korean state media suggests the North is using underground silos. Military analysts say that could allow it to launch ballistic missiles with no notice.
In the past, this was developmental testing, but now I think they're actually doing exercises. So nuclear warfighting exercises, ballistic missile attack exercises, bomber run exercises. So I don't call these developmental tests anymore.
After decades of tensions, the U.S. appears to have largely run out of options to deal with Pyongyang's growing nuclear threat. This South Korean commander says we'll establish a decisive battle posture to fight and win.
These military exercises are taking place just 10 miles from the demilitarized zone. North Korea calls them rehearsals for an invasion.
Nothing motivates a U.S. soldier to be all they can be more than sleeping 10 miles from an adversary. And when that adversary is firing ballistic missiles, it provides an incredible focus to this training.
Yeah, so if it's not one thing, it's another. Russia, North Korea, and also China, who seems to be best friends with now Russia, also lingering there, and also wants to bring Taiwan back into the fold with their country, and is basically not on good terms with the United States here now after the Chinese spy balloon and everything else kind of going on here. The Chinese president just traveled to Russia to, shake hands over there. The Chinese president hasn't came over to the United States in 10 years. So let me know your thoughts here. I'll keep you up to date here. And doesn't seem like we're getting many friends here now. We're getting more enemies. And Russia says that they're going to bomb anybody that tries to arrest Putin. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. New videos come out here every day on our YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos. And it's completely free to do so. Click the bell icon after you subscribe. Here's some videos that you should watch next.